Today, we announced that Conductor's market-leading AI search intelligence can be accessed directly in ChatGPT, making us the only enterprise AEO connector verified by OpenAI. I spoke with Wei Zheng, Conductor's Chief Product Officer, on how this connector works, what exactly is an MCP server, and how AI is fundamentally reshaping the software that we use every single day. Hey, thanks for joining, Wei. Do you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Wei, and I'm the Chief Product Officer at Conductor. I oversee our engineering, product, and design organizations. Excited to be here.
Internally at Conductor, we've been talking a lot about how software is fundamentally changing due to AI. Can you explain exactly why we decided to build a connector to ChatGPT?
As we all know, that AI is really changing the foundation for software in general. For a very long time, software is built kind of on this model view controller pattern, where the model is the data, the view is what the user sees, and the controller is the workflow that the user uses to connect kind of the data with what they see. With AI, so much of the workflow and increasingly the view as well, which is where do you perform your analysis or get your work done, is shifting to a large language model surface or an AI surface like ChatGPT. So when we think about what Conductor does, we provide the best insights and recommendations for digital marketers to ensure that their content and brand are being seen by AI. We need to think about how we shift with where increasingly users are doing their work. So ChatGPT felt like a very natural place to start because we had some of the best data intelligence for how people are searching, where are people searching, and what can you do about it in order to make your content more relevant for AI. That's the reason why we decided to build a MCP connector for ChatGPT, so you can do all of that analysis directly inside ChatGPT.
Wei, you mentioned you built this on an MCP. For us non-technical folks, can you explain what that is?
So MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's a protocol, I believe, initially defined by Anthropic. And the goal is to come up with a standard language or protocol for connecting agents to external data and tools. As we all know, agents is like right now it's the thing, right, for AI, and I think everyone is building an agent. But an agent is not intelligent unless it actually has access to the right information. So MCP is a standard protocol so that every agent can speak the same language and communicate over this protocol to grab the tools and data that it requires in order to perform the tasks that it's being asked to do.
All right, great. I'd love to see the connector in action. Can you show us an example? Maybe let's see a brand's market share on a specific topic.
This is just a demo account, but to kind of show like what are some of the possible things you could do with the MCP connector. So here I have a question: what topics are the best performing for Apple.com in terms of brand mention? It will try to discover the tools that are available through the MCP connector. And we have two tools that are available. One is the citation tool. You can see AI citation market share. And then the other one is the AI brand market share. It'll give you some information here. You can see what are the exact filters that are being passed in, but you can see that these are the top performing topics. And what I love about ChatGPT is that it will always try to offer some insights for you. That is one of the power of combining the data from Conductor inside ChatGPT, is that you leverage the large language model analysis and AI, but you're supplementing it with data that's coming from Conductor. So here I can, for example, analyze how sentiment for Apple varies across different search intent categories. One of the cool things about ChatGPT is without you asking, it will give you like a little table and give you the trend that you're seeing. You not only care about how you're showing up, but you also care about who else is showing up for the topics and prompts that you're tracking. So another interesting thing you might want to do here is generate a list of top competitor brands by number of brand mentions and categorized by topics. So you can see here that you are ranking high for your own product, obviously, but you've got Amazon, which is right behind you. And again, really, really awesome is that, ChatGPT provides insights to you on what's happening with your competitive landscape, and you can do additional, insights down here. And even you can say, given what you have seen, please generate some content recommendations for me in order to improve my brand mention performance. So this is something that's really, really interesting, which is leverage the actual data coming from Conductor and asking ChatGPT what are some of the content recommendations that it has for you. Super powerful to be more actionable on the data rather than just looking at the analysis. This is where AI really shines. It's like you give AI the right context, you give AI the right data, and then it's able to then perform more intelligent recommendations. You wouldn't be able to do that without the intelligence and data coming from Conductor plugged into ChatGPT.
So just to clarify, Wei, why can't I ask ChatGPT these questions directly, and why do I need the Conductor connector?
Yeah, really great question there. I think one of the big differentiation of Conductor's MCP server is we deployed this notion, what we call split reasoning model. Because AI can hallucinate a lot, and if I didn't have any of this grounding, like if I didn't ask or plug in Conductor's MCP connector, and I just go to ChatGPT and I say, hey, I'm apple.com, generate recommendation for me on my content to, either show up in AI more, whatever the suggestions would be. AI will come back with an answer. I'm pretty sure of it, right? You've had that experience. AI always comes back with an answer. But without the right context and without the right data, it most likely will not come back with meaningful information for you, or it's going to come up with something that it thinks is right. It will be grounded on either the training data that it has access to, which might be outdated. So our split reasoning model says that you want AI to do AI things, which is use large language model to do like the summary, the insights, the analysis. But when it comes to the actual data and when it comes to the actual performance, this is not hallucinated from like the training data set or data that are outdated. This is actually essentially grounded on the data that you're using and tracking explicitly in Conductor. But the large language model part, the creativity part, where you want AI to either give you like inspiration on content or giving you recommendations, or you wanted AI to do AI things. And at that part, we leverage, for example, when I ask for recommendations, this is using like really, really solid data from Conductor and then applying AI logic and AI like analysis on top of that. So I think that keeps the data sort of analysis portion sort of safe and like grounded away from AI's, potentially, where you need to do evaluations or testing to see if AI is giving you the right recommendations. You kind of have that split model to make sure the insights are accurate, and you're taking advantage of all the power of large language models on really, really great grounded data.
So I understand this is far from the final stage of the connector. What will this look like once we include all of Conductor's data into this ChatGPT connector?
Yeah, we are obviously still in testing stages right now. It's super, super early. This is our initial version. We have only exposed a small percentage of the Conductor's data sets through the MCP connector. We prioritized exposing AI search performance data right now. But if you are a user of Conductor, you know that we have one of the most holistic data platform and insights for a search and your brand, website performance. We have so many other data sets like your website data, your engagement data, traffic, technical AE or SEO data. All of that is still yet to come on the MCP connector. Once you have all of that information, you have even more data sources to work with. We're also going to be exposing traditional SEO data through the MCP connector as well. So you can understand how you're performing in ChatGPT and Perplexity and Gemini versus how you're performing in classic Google search. And last but not least is that you saw a version where you're asking OpenAI or asking ChatGPT to give you recommendations on content. But Conductor also have really great content recommendation and content AI content optimization capability as well. So those are additional data sources and tools that we can also expose through the MCP server. So you can actually leverage that capability inside ChatGPT as well. And any surfaces really where MCP is a protocol that can be leveraged.
If you are a Conductor customer and you want access to this ChatGPT connector, what can you do right now?
Well, you should try to get access to the MCP connector. I think it's pretty early still, so we are having an opt-in list. You should either contact support or speak to your account manager to gain access to the MCP connector or get on the wait list for it. We are excited to co-build with you. We know there's so much more we can do here. So get access to it, share feedback, use it, and maybe you'll discover some new use cases through this as well. That's probably the best way. And if you like it, or if you have constructive or ideas for how we can enhance it even further, do let us know. And we love to get your input.